What up, Dokkanners? We have two new Dragonstones available during the 8-year anniversary: the Premium Dragonstone 11, which is paid for, and the God Dragonstone 18, which is free. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you my thoughts and opinions on how I think you guys should spend these stones if you decide to buy them. This one is paid, so if you do pick these up, which units or unit should you choose from the stone selections down below? And then for this one as well, the free ones. Unfortunately here, they don't really seem to want to change this inventory. I think a few of the units down here have changed, but for the most part, this is the same selection that it's been for the last few years. So, you know, my opinions aren't really going to change on this one. So if you've been around for a few years now, you've probably already seen me recommend the same character, but we'll talk about it again. But let's start by talking about the Premium Dragonstone 11. This is part of an 88 Dragonstone pack, a special sale that is going on during the anniversary. Objectively speaking, this is a good deal when compared to the full price of the various Dragonstones, but that's pretty much par for the course when it comes to the anniversary celebration. They have major deals, so if you're someone who spends money on the game, you're probably going to be spending a lot anyway. When it comes to this one in particular, it really all just depends on what the options are that you have to choose from that would make you decide if you want to spend for this. Because while 88 Dragonstones for the price of $36 US and a Premium Dragonstone 11 is a decent deal, maybe you're not the person who needs it. Maybe you don't necessarily need some of these characters. Maybe you don't need to go out of your way to buy these extra stones just to have these 3 purple stones to get characters that you may not necessarily ever use. So it really all just depends on what you're looking for. But I will say that among these triple packs here, there is one triple pack that stands a cut above everything else, in my opinion, and I will share my thoughts on that. If you only buy 2, or maybe you would like to split this up, you can buy the double pack down here. There are some more combos to choose from, and then that will leave you with 1 Premium Dragonstone left, which you can use to select one of the older Dokkan festivals from like year 1, year 2 of Dokkan. These guys are just not in circulation anymore. You don't see these guys on banners anymore. So anytime you see, you know, certain showcases where this guy, the Super 17, is part of the Fused Fighter category or something, some of you guys might be wondering, hey, where'd that guy come from? I never get to see him. It's because these guys are so old now that they just don't show up as featured units on banners, because if they do, they instantly devalue the banner. You know, that's one of the things that we look at these days when we look at the featured list. If we see a lot of 200% leader skills, if we see a lot of the more modern units, a banner is generally valued at something higher. But when you have older archaic units, even if they're decent in their own right, it instantly lowers the value of the banner. Like if you saw this on the 8-year anniversary banner, a lot of people would cringe at seeing this. Even though he's good in a vacuum, he's not good, he's not relevant. So if you want to pick up one of these because maybe you're a completionist, a collector, then there could be some merit to picking up this and splitting up your stones. But I really think that the triple stone packs here have some incredible value, and I'm going to share with you now the one that I think most people should pick. This one right here, the Movie Heroes pack right here, is absolutely stacked. From top to bottom, you have 3 units that are all basically at the top of their own fields. The STR Piccolo is one of the best tanks in the game, and he is a banner unit. He should be he's borderline Dokkan Festival. He's got guard, he's got damage reduction, he's got support for Movie Heroes. When you run a full Movie Heroes team, this Piccolo is insanely good. And when you combine this Piccolo with Orange Piccolo, that is a pretty much unstoppable combination on any rotation in any field. So this right here is insane. Then you've got one of the best TUR EZAs in the entire game, the AGL Super Gogeta, multiplicative supers, insane dodge ability, guaranteed critical when transforming. This unit can do it all and do really, really lethal damage. So I think that he is also good. Of course, again, Movie Heroes. There are other categories, but Movie Heroes is the main common thread here. And then the LR AGL Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku, one of the 8 EZAs that are going to be happening during this anniversary. If you don't have an LR Spirit Bomb Goku yourself, this is a great way to pick it up. Instead of having to summon on an extreme legendary banner to try to get this guy, because some people like to do that to try to pick up every single EZA, they will do summons on those banners, which you typically shouldn't. So if you want to get the copy of this character, or maybe another copy, an additional dupe, there's your option right here. Across the board, all 3 of these characters are good. Other combinations are also good now, and they also have the potential to be better later on. In the future, if Worldwide Download Celebration ends up being Future Saga, the value for the Future Saga packs could increase. LR Rose and Goku Black is a fantastic LR EZA, one of the better options. The problem is the Future Saga as a whole, not the strongest category, so running this guy as a slot 1 is good, but in terms of a slot 2, you don't have too many fantastic options as of yet. But if some sort of great unit releases during Worldwide, well then retroactively these batches would be much, much more valuable. These guys are okay. I wouldn't recommend, but you know, if you're a Future Saga fan, then sure. These guys, not so much, but if you want to boost up Future Saga, you know, for the eventuality that they do get a boost, then that could be a good one. These guys are in desperate needs of EZAs. The LR Rose, the Int Goku Black, one of the most laughed at Dokkan Fests out there. If this dude gets an EZA, he would be really, really good. This is the 5-year Part 2 LR, along with the Broly. These two were actually released as the Part 2 to the LR Gogeta and Vegito. And those two units are receiving EZAs during this celebration, during this anniversary. So at some point, we could start to see some of the Part 2 LRs receive some EZAs, right? So if these guys were to get an EZA at some point soon, then this patch or this batch suddenly just became better, as did this one. This Broly is pretty decent, has an EZA. This is a banner unit from year 7. So there's potential here. I just think that across the board, no matter how you look at it, this is the best possible combination that you can find among the bunch. If I had to look at some other ones, I would say that the Bojack one has some merit. There's a lot of GT heroes representation right now with Spirit Bomb GT last year being 7-year Super Saiyan 4s. These guys could help. You've got some Universe Survival Saga potential. The LR Ultra Instinct Goku's a fantastic unit. Royal Blue Vegeta's a great Pure Saiyan's leader. Also not bad. Good leader skill. You've got Cooler and you've got Nappa. Cooler's a great Dokkan Festival. Nappa's a banner unit who is borderline Dokkan Festival. He outshined his very own Dokkan Fest contemporary when he first released. Some of these units, this LR Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta should receive an EZA at some point. If he does, this becomes better. Vegito's getting an EZA during this celebration, but he's probably the most mediocre among the bunch. Down here, Metacooler, pretty good EZA. He's an older unit. LR Turles Army, whenever he gets his EZA, he'll be good. There's just so much of that, right? Whenever they get their EZA, they'll be good. So it's really just up to you. If you don't have these units, or if you don't have enough copies, I would say go for this. If you want to pick up something else, just remember that some of these guys don't have EZAs yet, or if they do, they may not age as well as we move on further down the road. So that's my pick for the 3-pack. If I were to pick one down here, let's see. For the double pack, this one is not bad. The Android Cell Saga one. Baby Vegeta, I think, is getting an EZA on JP. So there's that. Also, we are getting the Kale Dokkan Festival after the 8-year anniversary on Global. So if you guys are big fans of Kale, KFC EZA is going to help you out a lot. Also, this is a guaranteed dodge for any Pure Saiyan event, this Caulifla. Oh, and then this one is actually amazing. Int LR Godku and Tech Godku. The two best Godkus in the game, both together. This is actually, I would say this is probably the best one. Again, though, it kind of goes back to movie heroes. We got some movie hero representation right here. This guy is not a movie hero, but still a fantastic unit to be run alongside Pure Saiyans and Hybrid Saiyans. So I would say this one is the best. And then if you had to pick one unit down here, I'd probably say the Super 17 might be the best all around. Or the I'm gonna say Super 17. Super 17 is the best. So those are my thoughts on the Purple Dragonstone. Let me know in the comments what you think. What is the pack of choice that you're gonna be going with? And let me know why. So now let's move on to the God Dragonstone 18. So like I said, the inventory has not really changed in a few years now. They don't seem to want to update this. I think down here they've added a couple more rows with different units, but they're all mediocre. The point of this is basically to allow you to pick up a unit that has either been sort of sunset in the Dokkan history or could just help on a random team that you're trying to run. And keep in mind that a lot of these guys are going to just randomly pop up during your summons. So if you pick one and you're not happy with it, in the future you will eventually get another unit from this batch. Maybe you're looking at Popo as your pick, but you choose Pycon instead. In the future, you might just randomly get this guy anyway as an unfeatured. For the most part, most of these units are unfeatured general pool units, with the exception of like the older characters. And I think Kefla I don't think would show up. And I think it would be like these guys back here. Sort of the same thing like the older Dokkan Fest units over here. They just won't show up because they're too old. If they show up on a banner, it instantly devalues it. That would not be good business. So if you want to pick the best possible choice among these, all things considered, I think the answer is very, very clear. It is Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Why? Because he has 80% damage reduction for 10 turns. That ability goes a long way on virtually every single event out there. There is no event that nullifies damage reduction. There is no event that can stop this unit from being a guaranteed slot 1 menace. So this is a fantastic option to run on any event, which is why if you don't have a single copy of this character, or even if you have one copy and you need more, I think you should, because the more copies this unit gets, the rainbowier he becomes, the tankier he becomes. So I think that without question, this is the best possible choice for you, especially if you're a starter. You want to have some tanks, you want to have some guaranteed slot 1 reliable units. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta will get the job done. If I had to pick a few others, there are a few other ones that I could throw in there. I think STR Topo is the next most valuable, all things considered, because he provides an all-around support, key +1 attack plus defense +40 for all allies, and he has reduced damage received when your health falls below 70%, a very rare ability to be given to a support unit. So when you actually get into the critical health bar situation, this guy can provide some defense for himself, which is a very, very underrated ability. So I think that this guy would be the next most valuable. I'm throwing in the Kid Buu here strictly because of the fact that he provides a 50% support. This isn't always going to help you because he has no semblance of defense. He is a tissue paper, but when you're on those first rotation sort of situations where you're trying to maximize the damage on events, maybe like a nuking event, maybe the punching bag event, this guy with his 50% all allies support is very, very useful. So I think that this guy can help in those sorts of cases. Janemba is also a great unit because he has guaranteed guard. He has medium chance to dodge. I think that his defensive capabilities are still useful, though not as much as it used to be, but still, I do find this guy to be a little bit valuable. And again, I'm trying to factor all things into this. You know, it all depends on what sort of teams you have, what you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to find units that supplement some of the new units that you just summoned for, I can't account for every possible contingency. The best thing that I could recommend is that you take each individual unit and look them up, see what they can do. I think in general, though, the earlier two rows, with the exception of these last three, are ones that you can avoid. But everybody else, they could add something to the table to help you guys out. Vegeta and Trunks, they support. Kale and Caulifla are both going to be relevant in the next Dokkan Festival. The Kale is a great tank for Universe 6. Down here, you've got some stacking Goku Vegeta units. These are permanent, these are temporary. You've got some units here that could work with Spirit Bomb Z that just released. And you've got other randos down here who could also be useful. Caulifla's not bad. Caulifla on her own is not bad. Or sorry, Kefla. I get their names mixed up all the time. She also has 3 links in common with the upcoming Kale Dokkan Fest that will be happening after 8-year anniversary, if that's something that you care about. And then, yeah, I also listed the Vegeta and the Goku here. If you are simply just looking for someone to run on like a Spirit Bomb Z type team. So hopefully this helped you guys out. Hopefully this gave you some idea, some general indication of where to look, where to sort of narrow your search. I think in general, when you don't know what you want, go for the thing that is most universal, and that is damage reduction. Damage reduction is the lifeblood of surviving any event now. If you have a unit with stellar damage reduction, you can throw them on any team. Even if the category doesn't match, you'd be surprised how decent the damage reduction can be on a unit that runs on a team without the proper category. I've done it. The Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta has some skills, so if you don't have them, pick them up. And those are my thoughts. I'm not gonna bury you with more thoughts anymore. Again, it's upon you. If you still can't decide, do some research, look into each character individually, use the resources that I provide in the description, check them out. If you ultimately still can't decide, just remember, if you pick one up, you will probably get one of these other guys in the future on your random summons anyway, so it's not the end of the world. Plus, we'll probably be right back here next year with the same exact roster. They will not change it. This, I feel like, especially this top block, this won't change. Maybe they'll like change a couple units down here as well. And then of course, if you have no idea and you just don't want to even bother thinking about it, pick up a Kai. You'll just get a free Kai. I don't think you should, because even in the end, you don't know what you want. You could pick these up to help you with chain battle. There are other uses, but if you really, really want to, you could also get a Kai. And that's it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the red Dragonstone situation. Which unit did you pick and why? Which are some of the units that are most valuable to you? Which are some of the units that other people should look out for? And what are your thoughts on the purple Dragonstone triple packs? Do you also agree with me that the Movie Heroes pack is unquestionably the best among the bunch? Why not? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know when I see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.